Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the top 20 SNES games that deserve a high-definition remake. These classics brought us hours of fun back in the day, but imagine how amazing they'd be with updated graphics, smoother gameplay, and epic soundtracks. 20. Illusion of Gaia. First up, Illusion of Gaia. This action RPG is a mix of adventure, puzzle solving, and emotional storytelling. You play as Will, a boy with mysterious powers, traveling through real-world-inspired locations like the Great Wall of China, Angkor Wat, and the Nazca Lines. The story is packed with memorable characters and a bittersweet tone. Now, imagine those incredible locations in HD. The detailed ruins and eerie dungeons could look absolutely breathtaking with modern graphics. Combat could feel more dynamic with smoother animations and updated mechanics. And how about an expanded story that gives us more background on Will and his companions? Plus, with a fully reorchestrated soundtrack, the emotional weight of this game would hit even harder. A remake could make this already unforgettable game a true masterpiece. 19. Maui, Mallard, and Cold Shadow. Maui, Mallard, and Cold Shadow might not be the most famous Disney game, but it's definitely one of the most unique. You play as Maui Mallard, a private investigator who can transform into a ninja. The gameplay is a fun mix of action and puzzles, set in tropical environments filled with quirky enemies and vibrant colors. Now picture this in HD. The lush jungle landscapes, creepy haunted levels, and explosive boss fights could all come to life with modern visuals. Maui's ninja moves, like rope swinging and shuriken throwing, could feel more responsive with updated controls. Plus, imagine a reworked soundtrack with tropical beats and energetic action themes. A remake could even introduce new levels or expand the story, making it a must-play for fans of platformers and Disney alike. 18. Final Fight 3. Final Fight 3 is one of the most action-packed beat 'em ups from the SNES era. The game puts you in the shoes of tough characters like Guy, Hager, and Lucia, taking down gangs in the crime-ridden streets of Metro City. The co-op mode was a blast, and the special moves added a layer of strategy to the chaos. An HD remake could make the gritty streets of Metro City more detailed, with dynamic lighting and destructible environments. The combat could feel smoother and more impactful with updated animations, and the character models could get a fresh, modern look. How about new enemies, expanded levels, and unlockable characters to spice things up? And don't forget online multiplayer. Teaming up with a friend to take down the bad guys would be epic. A remake of Final Fight 3 could bring this classic brawler back in a big way. 17. Blackthorne. Blackthorne is a gritty, dark platformer that feels like a mix between Prince of Persia and Doom. You play as Kyle, a tough hero armed with a shotgun, battling enemies to save his world. The game's atmosphere is moody and intense, with haunting music and a dystopian sci-fi setting. In HD, Blackthorne could be absolutely jaw-dropping. The environments could be more immersive with detailed alien landscapes and dynamic shadows that emphasize its dark tone. Imagine Kyle's shotgun blasts with enhanced sound effects and smooth recoil animations. A remake could add more story depth, giving us greater insight into Kyle's mission and the mysterious enemies he faces. Blackthorne already has a cult following, but with modern upgrades, it could gain the attention it always deserved. 16. Xardion. For fans of mechs and sci-fi, Xardion is a dream come true. In this action RPG, you pilot powerful robots to battle aliens and save the galaxy. Each mech has its own abilities, adding depth and variety to the gameplay. Now imagine Xardion in HD. The mechs could be redesigned with incredible detail, showcasing their armor, weapons, and unique styles. Battles against alien enemies could feature explosive effects and smoother combat mechanics, making every fight feel epic. A remake could also expand the story, giving us more lore about the galaxy and the war that threatens it. And how about adding co-op multiplayer, letting you and a friend team up to take on the alien menace? With the right updates, Xardion could become the ultimate sci-fi adventure. 15. Ogre Battle: The March of the Black Queen. Ogre Battle is a tactical RPG that feels ahead of its time, with massive battles and a story shaped by your decisions. You command armies across a fantasy world, fighting for justice or conquest depending on your choices. An HD remake could make those epic battles truly awe-inspiring, with beautifully animated units, larger battlefields, and enhanced visual effects for spells and attacks. A modernized interface could make commanding your army smoother, and new units or factions could add even more strategic options. The game's branching storylines could also be expanded, giving players even more reasons to replay and explore different paths. Fans of strategy games would go wild for an updated version of Ogre Battle. 14. Uniracers. Uniracers is one of the quirkiest racing games ever made. You control unicycles performing insane stunts while speeding through colorful, twisting tracks. It's fast, fun, and totally unique. Imagine Uniracers with HD visuals. The tracks could feature dynamic lighting, creative environments, and smoother animations for tricks and flips. A remake could introduce new modes like online multiplayer or stunt challenges, adding even more ways to enjoy the game. With its quirky charm and modern updates, Uniracers could easily make a comeback as a favorite for party gaming. 13. Soul Blazer. Soul Blazer is part of a trilogy that includes Illusion of Gaia and Terranigma, and it's all about restoring destroyed towns and defeating evil forces. It's an action RPG with a heartfelt story and magical world. In HD, the towns could look vibrant and alive, while the dungeons could be more detailed and atmospheric. A remake could expand the story, giving us more backstory on the hero and the world he's saving. The combat could also feel smoother and more responsive, making it even more fun to play. Soul Blazer is already a beloved classic, but an HD remake could introduce it to a whole new generation. 12. Secret of the Stars. This RPG is a hidden gem with a charming story about good versus evil. You lead a group of heroes as they fight to save their world from a mysterious threat. The game's simple graphics and battle system could use an update, and an HD remake could make all the difference. Imagine the game's towns and dungeons with modern visuals, bringing them to life with vibrant colors and detailed environments. The combat system could be made faster and more exciting, with added animations and special effects. A remake could also expand the story, diving deeper into the characters' relationships and the lore of the world. Secret of the Stars deserves to be rediscovered, and an HD version could give it the love. It's long overdue. 11. Equinox. Equinox is an isometric puzzle adventure that takes players through magical dungeons filled with brain-teasing puzzles and challenging enemies. You play as Glendal, a young adventurer trying to rescue his father. The game is known for its intricate level design and atmospheric soundtrack. Now imagine this in HD. The isometric environments could become rich and vibrant, with beautifully designed dungeons, glowing traps, and dynamic lighting that enhances the magical atmosphere. The puzzles could use modern physics-based mechanics, making them more intuitive while keeping the challenge intact. A remake could also add smoother controls, eliminating the stiffness of the original, and make navigating the dungeons a more fluid experience. On top of that, how about expanding the lore? A modern Equinox could give us more backstory about Glendal's world and the magical forces he's battling against. Add new puzzles and secret dungeons, and this game could become a must-play for fans of adventure and puzzle-solving games. 10. ActRaiser. ActRaiser is one of the most unique games on the SNES, blending action platforming with city-building simulation. You play as a god who descends to Earth to fight evil and guide humanity toward prosperity. The game's dual gameplay styles were groundbreaking, but with today's technology, they could be elevated to a whole new level. In HD, the action platforming segments could feel more dynamic, with fluid combat, stunning backgrounds, and epic boss fights. Imagine taking down towering monsters with powerful divine attacks, all backed by an orchestral reimagining of the game's legendary soundtrack. The city-building portions could also be expanded, with more detailed towns, deeper management mechanics, and interactive citizens who share their stories. A remake could seamlessly blend these two gameplay styles, perhaps even adding new godly abilities or introducing new civilizations to rebuild. ActRaiser is already a classic, but an HD version could make it a one-of-a-kind experience for modern gamers. 9. Pilotwings. Pilotwings was a relaxing yet challenging flight simulator that let players take to the skies and planes, hang gliders, and even jetpacks. Its mix of chill exploration and skill-based challenges made it a standout on the SNES, but just imagine it with modern upgrades. In HD, the skies could come alive with breathtaking landscapes, realistic weather effects, and detailed flight mechanics. Picture flying over mountains, forests, and oceans with dynamic lighting that changes as the sun sets or clouds roll in. The controls could be updated to feel smoother and more immersive, making every takeoff and landing a joy. A remake could also introduce new challenges, like obstacle courses or rescue missions, and add more aircraft to the lineup. And let's not forget VR support. Imagine strapping on a headset and feeling like you're really soaring through the skies. Pilotwings in HD could become the ultimate escape for gamers who dream of flying. 8. Battletoads in Battlemaniacs. Battletoads in Battlemaniacs is chaotic, hilarious, and full of action. You play as Rash, Zitz, and Pimple, three anthropomorphic toads fighting their way through enemies to rescue their kidnapped friend. The game's wild level design and wacky humor made it a cult favorite. Now imagine this beat 'em up classic with HD visuals. The colorful levels could be reimagined with hand-drawn animations that bring the toads' exaggerated moves to life. Combat could feel more satisfying with modern controls and flashy effects for every punch, kick, and transformation. A remake could add new levels and enemies to spice things up. An online co-op would let you team up with friends no matter where they are. The game's humor and over-the-top action could be cranked up even further, making Battletoads and Battlemaniacs an absolute blast to play in the modern era. 7. Lufia II: Rise of the Sinistrals. Lufia II is one of the most beloved RPGs on the SNES, known for its emotional story, clever puzzles, and deep combat. You follow Maxim, a young adventurer, on a quest to stop the Sinistrals, godlike beings threatening to destroy the world. An HD remake could bring this beautiful story to life with stunning visuals and richer character animations. Imagine walking through detailed towns, solving puzzles in intricate dungeons, and battling enemies with upgraded effects and smoother combat mechanics. The game's puzzles, which were already a highlight, could be expanded with modern physics and new challenges. Voice acting and new cutscenes could add even more depth to the game's emotional moments, making us feel even more connected to Maxim and his companions. Lufia II is already a masterpiece, but with the right updates, it could easily become one of the greatest RPG remakes of all time. 6. Metal Warriors. For fans of giant robots and side-scrolling action, Metal Warriors is a dream come true. You pilot customizable mechs in intense battles, switching between different machines to use their unique abilities. Now picture this in HD. The mechs could be designed with incredible detail, showcasing every piece of armor and weaponry. The battles could feature explosive effects, destructible environments, and dynamic lighting that make every fight feel epic. A remake could also add more customization options, letting players fine-tune their mechs for different missions. Multiplayer was already a blast in the original, but with online support, Metal Warriors could become a go-to game for mech fans everywhere. Add new levels and enemies, and this game could become the definitive mech action experience. 5. Chrono Trigger. It's impossible to talk about great SNES games without mentioning Chrono Trigger. This legendary RPG is about time-traveling heroes trying to save the world from destruction. The story, characters, and combat system are already iconic, but just imagine them in HD. The game's vibrant, hand-drawn art could be reimagined with stunning modern visuals, making each era of history, from prehistoric times to the distant future, feel more alive. The turn-based combat could be enhanced with smoother animations and effects that make every spell and combo attack more exciting. A remake could also expand the story with new quests or characters, giving us even more reasons to explore its richly detailed world. And let's not forget the soundtrack. A fully orchestrated version of Chrono Trigger's music would be absolutely unforgettable. This game is already a masterpiece, but an HD version could make it even better. 4. Seventh Saga. Seventh Saga is a challenging RPG that stands out for its unique characters and tough battles. You choose one of 7 heroes, each with their own storyline, and explore a dangerous world filled with enemies and secrets. An HD remake could make this tough but rewarding game more accessible. The world could be brought to life with detailed towns, atmospheric dungeons, and vibrant landscapes. Combat could be made smoother and more engaging with updated visuals and reworked mechanics. The story could also be expanded, giving players more insight into the heroes and the world they're trying to save. With the right updates, Seventh Saga could become a fan favorite for RPG lovers looking for a challenge. At number 3, we've got Earthbound. This quirky RPG was all about humor, heart, and saving the world from aliens. You play as Ness, a kid with psychic powers, teaming up with his friends on a wild, unforgettable adventure. The game's unique style stands out even today. Bright towns, weird enemies, and trippy battle effects. Now, picture all of that in HD. The crazy visuals and hilarious dialogue would shine with modern graphics and animations. And don't forget the story. It's funny, but also surprisingly emotional. A remake could give this classic the spotlight it truly deserves, with fresh visuals and maybe even voice acting. Earthbound is a treasure from the SNES era, and we'd love to see it reimagined. 2. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Coming in at number 2, we have the ultimate cult classic, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. This quirky action game combines top-down shooter gameplay with co-op chaos as you and a friend race through neighborhoods, shopping malls, and haunted attractions to rescue your neighbors from all kinds of spooky monsters. From zombies and vampires to werewolves and killer dolls, the variety of enemies was insane and hilarious. Now imagine this in HD. The creepy but cartoony levels could be transformed with modern graphics, featuring dynamic lighting effects that make every dark alley and haunted house even more immersive. The colorful and over-the-top weapons, like soda cans, water guns, and weed whackers, could be reimagined with new effects and sound design. A remake could also add online co-op, so you don't have to share the couch to save your neighbors with a friend. And how about new levels inspired by modern horror movies, like abandoned theme parks or creepy cornfields? Zombies 8. My Neighbors is a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly why it deserves a comeback. It's chaotic, nostalgic, and endlessly fun, perfect for a fresh coat of HD paint. 1. Terranigma. Finally, at number 1, we have the deeply emotional and beautifully crafted Terranigma. This action RPG follows Ark, a mischievous young boy tasked with restoring life to a barren world. The game takes you through an unforgettable journey where you resurrect continents, revive civilizations, and even witness the creation of modern cities. It's a heartfelt story about humanity, growth, and redemption. An HD remake of Terranigma could be absolutely breathtaking. Imagine the stunning landscapes, from lush forests to bustling cities, rendered in incredible detail with modern graphics. The environments could feel truly alive, with dynamic weather, interactive townspeople, and immersive soundscapes. Combat could also be updated to feel faster and more fluid, with enhanced animations for Ark's moves and new abilities to keep the action fresh. A remake could expand the game's story, diving deeper into Ark's journey and the relationships he builds with the people he saves. And of course, the soundtrack, already a masterpiece, could be fully reorchestrated to deliver even more emotional impact. Terranigma isn't just a game, it's an experience. It's one of the most memorable RPGs of its time, and it's long overdue for the global recognition it deserves. A high-definition remake could finally bring this hidden gem into the spotlight, introducing it to a whole new generation of players. And that's our list. Do you agree with our picks? Or is there a SNES game you think deserves a remake even more? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.